My name is Cheryl Dunn. I'm a documentary filmmaker and photographer, and seemingly most of my subjects are about New York. I grew up in the suburbs in New Jersey, close to New York City, and so, it was so close yet so far. And I didn't know what I wanted to be, but I knew I was going to do it there. I could see it. When you're not born in it, I think maybe you work a little harder to get there, because it's not just given to you. And I just love everything about New York. Like the characters, I love the sensibility, I love that people are direct, I love like someone could tell you, fuck off 1 minute and then help you the next minute. My mother she is an artist. She was a frustrated housewife of 4 kids. She painted, she made films, she photographed everything. To me, that was normal. I thought everyone's family was like that. There were just tactile things that we always had around and looked at. And then we had just, boxes of 8mm home movies, and we would beg our parents, like on a Saturday night, can we watch movies? And they'd set up the thing, and we'd lay on the floor and we'd watch our vacations. So like my life was documented in film, and then I just did it as well. I love my equipment. I'm gonna figure out my kit and how, what can I bring, what can I carry, and what's the most important thing to have, and for what I want to make. And it's a real matrix, and I shot music festivals for years, for 20 years. I have a book called Festivals Are Good, yeah, and that was also an example of that. I have to carry around this stuff all for 10 hours, for 5 days straight, maybe, at Bonnaroo, and 4 days. And so I'm like, of course I want every option, but I usually would bring too much, but I also have to physically carry it, and I have to physically be able to access it, use it fast. And so like what does that consist of? And it takes a lot of thinking. It's very beneficial as a filmmaker to be an editor, because you're sitting there, it's like there's your ingredients, like Thanksgiving dinner, right? You want to have as many ingredients. You don't want to ever say, damn, why didn't I record that? Why didn't I shoot that? What the like you want to have way too much. When I did Everybody's Street, like Elliot Erwitt, like 89-year-old guy, he's been interviewed 1 billion times. Why should he give a shit? I have to win his trust in 5 minutes. And how am I going to do that? And so I was like, I have to ask him specific emotional questions about street photography that only someone that does it would know. And then he'll know I'm not a phony. And that's what I did. And he gave me 5 hours of his day. It's not like you're shooting 16mm, it costs you nothing, so you just let it roll, It's a harder editorial process because you have to comb through. And I think what makes you feel something is probably going to make someone else feel something. I am making a project now called We Ain't Going Nowhere. Someone came to me and said, will you maybe dissect Everybody's Street and make a different version of Everybody's Street? I'm like, no. But what I will do is, I had just like a stint of last fall mentoring young women photographers. I was at a lot of social events, and my niece's wedding, and a number of young women photographers came up and asked me all these questions. I'm like, these women are asking me questions all the time, like, how do I do stuff? And I'm like, I want to make a film for young women. Moments Like This Never Last was a tattoo that Dash had on his body, which is also a song title. And I just thought it was appropriate and was really described his life and his art. We Ain't Going Nowhere that's a picture of me like a couple days after 9/11 in my loft downtown, and my 9/11 story is pretty dramatic. That place was about a block and a half from the World Trade Center, and we had quite a day, and my whole place was filled with dust. And Stephen Powers, graffiti writer Espo, came over, and he wrote down like on the 9/11 dust window. And Tommy Guerrero, he's a skater, and he had a company called Spitfire, and he sent me that T-shirt, a bunch of clothes, because all my stuff was wrapped from 9/11 dust. So that picture just, says a lot to me. Talks about New York, talks about resilience, it talks about, and then, I just wanted to equate it to being a woman and being an artist in New York and trying to survive here, and still being here. So that's what I'm calling that film. I just love the energy of New Yorkers and what they wear, and they're so stylish, and they're just like such beautiful young people, like. And I don't get in anyone's face. I do it, and they don't know it. I think they don't know it. but it's a celebration. I'm not being like, oh my God, look at it. They're all, I just think a lot of people, unless you live in those boroughs, obviously you're not taking that train at 11 o'clock to go into deep Brooklyn. But if you are, you see who lives there, and you see what the community's like, and it's amazing. I'm very inspired by artists and art, and all forms of art, but I think it's cool to for films, get inspired by, maybe not directly by films, by painting and by music, and the cross-pollination of different art forms. Currently, and I've been doing it for 20 years, making a film that centers around the artists of Creative Growth Art Center in Oakland, California, and it's for artists with disabilities, and many of these artists now are like really world famous, and the place has just turned 50. Many of the artists in this population have compromised abilities to communicate. Maybe they're deaf, maybe have mental disabilities, and so their art has in some cases has so much more force in it, because there's other portals that are closed off. So like if your art was your only portal to communication with the outside world, how intense would that be? And also I've learned you can make a film about a place, but you have to make a film about people. I don't cook at all. My husband cooks. I can make an egg, but I basically, and I don't work at home, so he'll make me something. But when I'm here, I'll go get I can't even say the word, acai bowl from this incredible juice place right here, or I'll go to Forget Me Not. It's good food for really affordable. It's just, everyone's funny, yeah. And they saved my cat. Billy came to my house in Brooklyn, and I live in Ocean Hill. So first his name was Otto Hill. I don't know, because O Hill. And then when he fell out the window and lost his leg. I called him Billy Hill? Oh, because my husband thought his name was Hillbilly. He's like, where's that Hillbilly, Billy Hill? And then I started cracking him like, Billy Hill. So then he turned into Billy Hill.
1, 2, 1, 2, yes. Yo. It's King Ghidra, combined with the forces of non-ether. Blowing woofers and tweeters, shaking syllable meters. Disasters cataclysmic, mystic natural. It's about time we hit your...